athletics to build that relationship with children, if it takes athletics to learn the skills that you learn on the field, and I'm not talking the athletic field skills, I'm talking the teamwork, the collaboration, the strategy. If that's what it takes to get them to stay in high school, then we have to be very, very careful before we make big changes. And I think there's compromises that we can make.
One study was conducted by Dr. Durald, and what his purpose was to compare high schools across our nation and see actually what the requirements were as far as high school participation in high school athletics and physical activities. He randomly selected 125 high schools from 48 states and compared their requirements for athletic competition. The minimum grade for an average it ranged from no minimum to 2.5. Of the 125 schools that he surveyed, only 35 schools had a minimum GPA, and of those, only 19 required a 2.0 or higher. 94 of the 125 schools, student athletes could be eligible to compete with a GPA of 1.0 or less. The most stringent of those schools require a 2.5 and no F. All states do require a minimum unit of course that a student must be enrolled in order to compete in athletics. As far as the maximum number of failing grades, 23 of the 125 schools allow no Fs. 15 of the 125 schools allow their athletes to have 2 or 3 Fs. The most common academic standard was that they could participate with up to 1 F, and that was 87 of the 125 schools. And as part of the goal, of course, in education is that we are to have students to pursue academic excellence. And I would like to see have our panelists to talk about how does this GPA requirement, minimum 1.5 GPA requirement, how does that play into academic excellence?
Okay, certainly if you raise the standard for students that are participating in athletics, your overall school academic grade will rise up. You have student athletes who are leaders on the campus who encounter and represent the school and the student body. So the grade within that school, let's take for example, Lafayette High School. If you have student athletes participating with a 2.0, then the school test scores will go up.
I'd like to speak to the students, the parents, coaches, mentors down here. The standard, in my opinion, I'm from the great state of Texas. We had the no pass, no play rules, that's always been effect. But ultimately, this is my opinion. It comes down to what is your standard. Young people, parents, coaches, mentors, who are here, you got to have a high standard. I don't care. I mean, it's important to me that y'all don't even have a 1.5 GPA. But really, that shouldn't even have any bearing with you. If you have a goal of one thing, being successful, based on your terms of success, because the NFL, NBA field, 99% of the people standing on, in this room right now, and I'm not trying to put it out there saying, the numbers you won't make it up. I'll give you an example. 13% of a million high school athletes, 13% go into Division I athletics. Of that 13%, half of the 1% will make it to an NFL field. Of that half of the 1%, 70% of those guys will be gone in the first 3 years. So you got another chance to be a doctor, lawyer, or Indian chief. The never fit for I'm not here to say that it can't be done. I'm from Galveston, Texas. Once you go within USA or play 10 years in the NFL, but you can't do it. My academic rival is a man in Cottonham here. He'll tell you as well as I will. Academics was as important to me even more so than athletics. I come from a family where my mother was a long summer principal. My dad was a high school guidance counselor. But my dad grew up in a house in Detroit where his mom had a third grade education. His dad never went to school. His dad was running. Yet they were able to produce out of 10 kids that they had 10 college graduates, 3 doctors. So it comes down to what's your standard, what's your expectation for yourself. So I want to do all of the young people here, first have a higher standard just for yourself. only for those who make it. And that's what we have now, excuses, because there's no reason someone shouldn't be able to get a 2.0. I'll just share a little bit of my journey. As I mentioned earlier, I'm from Durald, Louisiana. And I'm not proud of the fact that back in 1976, Louisiana went last in the nation on the literacy test. Evangeline Parish, where I'm from, was last in Louisiana. Durald High, where I went to high school, was last in Evangeline Parish. So if I was last in my class, that would be the dumbest kid in America. Thank God I was serving God. But I remember going to LSU. I was in this geography class, and we had about 150 people in the class. The professor walked in and he said, "Mr. Lafleur, will you please stand up?" And I stood up. He said, "Mr. Lafleur, tell the class what you know about the English channel." I said, "The English channel?" I said, "We don't have cable TV." You go over to it, but you don't know what the English channel is. That's what I'm talking about. But on the serious note, it's about it's how what you do to make it happen. I just remember I was in the 8th grade. See, I'm no different than anyone that you hear. There's nothing special about me. But when I was in the 8th grade, I brought home 3 Ds on my report card. And my father was son. Because every time I brought home a bad grade, he would. When I brought home those 3 Ds, he said, "I'm going to have to take you off the football team." So that got my attention. But I knew one day I was going to play professional football. Back up. Go back. Say that again. One day I was going to play professional football. When you brought home B's, what happened? I got weak. But when my father said to take me off the football team, that really got my attention. He's going to do what? Take me off the football team. But this is what I had to do. And if you remember back in the day, we had those 8-track little set tapes there. Everybody that made A's in the school, they would always say they never studied. Well, the reason they told me they never studied because they didn't want you to make an A right then. And I fell for that. Because I called myself memorizing on Thursday night to pass the test on Friday. But what I had to learn to do, because my father was ready to take me off the football team, was to start studying on Monday night. And what I did was read my notes into this little tape player twice, and I listened to it. Then on Tuesday, I read my notes into this little tape player again, which meant I had to hear Monday's notes twice and Tuesday's notes twice. And Wednesday, I would read my little notes into this little tape player, and I had to listen to Wednesday's notes twice, and I read Monday's notes 6 times, and I read Tuesday's notes 4 times, and Wednesday's notes twice. Then Thursday, I kind of went over it. Then Friday, I made a team. I passed. We could all pass. Not that hard to pass. But you have to put the effort in. And I made a good effort. See, I don't make a good effort. But I had to learn how to study at the beginning of the week. Because academics is no different than athletics. There's no football team or basketball team that just shows up on Friday night and wins the game. They practice all week. And it's the same thing. And you just have to prepare yourself all week and take home a book every month and open that book and just go over your notes. Trust me, it works. There's no substitute, it works.
Now, we're not promoting we do promote take responsibility and what you don't try to do at your home is your business.
I'd like to say a few words to the coaches that are in the audience right now. And when we're talking about this 1.5 versus a 2.0, I'm an advocate of a 2.0. If you don't have a 2.0, I don't think that you should be allowed to play athletics. And to the coaches, it's all about having standards. And every coach in here has standards. He has 40 spots on his football team, and 100 kids go out for football, he's going to turn away 60. And if his football team was all about strictly the development of the kid and keeping the kid focused